Hello!
My name is Paula Mora, and in this video for the practice 1 of the subject Artistic Creation and Research Workshop, we will analyze the creative process and the meaning of two pieces of work. The first one, elaborated with traditional materials, represents otherness. The second one, which has been created with a modern artistic technique, represents stereotype.
First piece of work. By your side.
In order to fully understand the meaning and elaboration of the first piece of work, we must analyze the three first steps of the artistic creative process, which are preparation, incubation, and illumination. Regarding preparation, since the beginning I knew that I wanted to explore and learn new things about otherness. So I started to search for information. The resources that our teacher provided us, such as the article from Octavio Paz, were quite revealing. I even had conversations with my family and friends, being aware of the quite amazing impact of otherness in our daily lives. Regarding incubation, once I had a real comprehension of the chosen topic, my mind started to work almost unconsciously, looking for connections between otherness and different artistic movements like Renaissance or Baroque, realizing that this topic contrasts with the individualism characteristic of the Renaissance art. Different materials, techniques, and ideas came to my mind until illumination knocked on my door. Once I watched myself putting my hand over my best friend's shoulder, I realized that there are deeper emotions, perspectives, and opinions that the most superficial ones we appreciate every day. For that reason, I decided to use oil painting. With regard to the elaboration step, on the one hand, I used the oil painting technique because I was a bit familiarized with it, and on the other hand, I used different kinds of materials which were fundamental. I had to make use of paint brushes of various shapes and sizes, a wide range of colors, different kinds of blue, orange, ochre, little cut sponges, cotton, paper, water, and glasses to keep the material clean, and finally the Studio Guarro A4 block.
During the elaboration process, I started painting the left human figure. As the person in the left is the one who is calmed and tries to understand and put herself in the place of the other, I made use of warm colors, orange, ochre, yellow, red, and I painted a white cloud with the sun, representing that state of serenity. To emphasize even more the idea of otherness, I painted the left person's hand over the other figure's shoulder. Because of otherness, the left figure realizes how the other person is truly feeling and understands her perspective. So I used cold colors too. On the contrary, the person in the right is completely disturbed and confused, idea which is represented through the storm in her head, and the cold colors which cover her. In addition, both clouds are similar to the aspect of brains, which is a metaphor of how our minds can sometimes be clear skies or storms. To achieve the result I was looking for, I followed the same procedure in both figures, but changing in every case the colors. Firstly, I used a paintbrush to fill the left and the right figure with clear ochre and blue respectively. Afterwards, I used little cut sponges to create different layers of color, which allowed me to obtain a special heterogeneous texture. I also blurred the lines with the help of cotton and even the paintbrushes. Furthermore, I must admit that painting the clouds was not an easy task, since I wanted to make them as real as possible. This is the final result.
In conclusion, thanks to this piece of work, I have realized that art must be conceived as an opportunity to transmit one's ideas and emotions. Like this, my artistic skills have been considerably developed, and I have realized that perseverance and patience are key to be successful. Regarding the creative process, I have found out that we must let ourselves flow in the process. The social items I have addressed are the importance of empathy, concern, and agreement, and how essential it is to put ourselves in the place of the others.
Second piece of work. The unreal vision of teaching.
With regard to the first step of the artistic creative process, this is preparation, I knew since the beginning that I wanted to take advantage of the concept of stereotype to address several social misconceptions which surround the figure of the primary education teacher in Spain. As I am a student of bilingual primary education and my parents are teachers too, I've always known the most typical stereotypes which are said about this topic, but I wanted to gather more information, so I had conversations with other teachers. In relationship with the incubation step, I had more doubts about how to integrate all the ideas I had into one single piece of work. Nevertheless, once all the acquired knowledge settled in my mind, the desired illumination came to me. As I had to make use of an artistic, modern technique, I decided to make a photographic montage using Adobe Photoshop to combine in one single picture all the stereotypes I had collected before. These are the supposed ease of the work of teachers, the excessive holidays they have, that only women can be teachers, the macaroni necklaces that students of primary education are always doing, and the hurry that educators always have to leave the work at 2 o'clock. If we focus on elaboration, I utilize the photographic montage as the modern artistic technique, and the materials I needed were several images as well as the Adobe Photoshop software.
The first step of the elaboration process was to look for all the images I would need to obtain the desired final result. A beach, a wall, a blackboard, a woman in suit running, a macaroni necklace, open books, papers flying, and a clock. Once I collected all the pictures, I started making montage. Little by little, I managed to organize the space properly and distribute the elements logically to achieve a holistic, attractive, and powerful piece of art. The key aspect in this part was to make every layer the best way possible. In this first layer of the work, which is the combination of a class and a beach, we can appreciate the contraposition of the two typical scenarios associated to teachers, the school and the holidays. In the next picture, we observe the figure of the teacher, of course represented by a woman. In fact, it was necessary to express the stereotype related to the supposed hurry for leaving the school. Furthermore, new elements were added to the picture to represent more interrelated stereotypes. A clock that indicates that it is 2 o'clock, the end of the classes, a macaroni necklace, which is a typical misconception associated to the degree of primary education, and books are in the air as if they were thrown by the teacher. More papers are included to add dynamism to the picture, and easy mathematical exercises are put in the blackboard, as well as the word hello to symbolize the general stereotype which claims that primary educators only teach easy, basic contents.
To conclude, I have realized that society in general isn't able to appreciate the essential job that teachers carry out every day. The main social item or problem I have addressed is the lack of social awareness and concern about how important educators are in the development of informed, critic, empathic, and compromised citizens. As a final point, this practice number 1 has allowed me to develop my own artistic skills through the utilization of various materials, techniques, and the possibility to express my most personal and deepest ideas. I have also found out that art must be addressed in the primary education curriculum.
Children from 6 to 12 years old must develop their artistic skills. In a future role as a teacher, I would encourage pupils to be themselves, to make personal pieces of art, to learn, be patient, and be perseverant. I would let them freedom to experiment and make mistakes, to flow and work autonomously.